does my autism show up in my life besides the communication deficits? So this is going to be part 2 to the video that I posted last month. So if you haven't seen that video, then go ahead and watch it and then come back here. So in today's video, I am going to discuss some things that are also associated with autism. So in order to receive an autism diagnosis, there has to be like I said in the first video, like communication deficits, more than one, more than two, or two or more. Well, there's also other things associated with autism. Let me see, how should I pronounce it? Comorbidities. I think that is the correct pronunciation that come along with autism, such as auditory processing disorder, executive dysfunction. And those are two things that show up in my life like really heavily. I'm stimming, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm trying to stop saying in the videos. Bear with me. Okay, so as far as audio processing disorder, sometimes it takes me a while, just like maybe a couple seconds for it to register. So like if somebody's talking to me and they say something and then I may say, huh, or I may pause before I respond because I don't initially get it all. It just comes in just a little bit late. Also, there's sensory processing disorder. Definitely that. Textures with food. I just can't, like if it's like something soggy, like soggy cereal or bread pudding, wet bread, dishwater. It all drives me crazy. And more recently, the Crown Royal mixed drinks that they just came out with in the can. The can is texture, it has a lot of texture on it. And I started screaming when I touched it. Oh my God, it drove me crazy. I gotta stop thinking about it. It's driving me crazy again. But yeah, textures one, and then also I hear everything, like loud noises, even noises that people may not pay attention to, like the humming of a fridge or something like that. Or maybe the faucet is like dripping and nobody's paying attention to it, but here I am zoned in on it and it's about to drive me crazy. Also, if there's like a lot going on, like a lot of different sounds all at once, drives me insane. And so mostly my house is pretty quiet. And the good thing is that I have neurodivergent children, and so they don't really like noise either. They like to isolate also. I have a suspicion that they may be autistic. I really do. Because they're just like me. They're like mini me's. But I love it because it works, because it helps me be able to parent them in a way that I know how that is also best for them. So that works out. This video is probably going to be all over the place, guys. I am out of habit of recording videos. Also, you guys know that my husband would edit my videos, and he is no longer with us. He passed on back in September. So I'm still getting back into the hang of making videos. And so if this video seems chaotic, I would say just be understanding. I know I'm trying to think of everything. Usually I'd make a timeline, but I didn't make one because it was going to be another thing, like the executive dysfunction. Like, I'm going to put it off. I'm going to keep putting it off because I don't want to make my timeline. So I figured I'd just get on here and talk, and maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't work. I'll see how the views go. But you guys are going to get this video, and hopefully the next video will be more well thought out. So, what else is there? How does my autism show up in my life? I don't drive really. I can drive, but I don't like to because it takes a lot of mental energy for me. So I kind of have a photographic memory in a way. So I remember when I was prepping to finally get my license, which I didn't get my license till later on in life. I was well in my 20s. But anyway, sorry, I keep saying, I'm all over the place, guys. You guys are seeing firsthand ADHD and autism, and I'm gonna keep it in the video because this is what it is. But yeah, with driving, it takes a lot of mental energy, and like I said, I feel like I have somewhat of a photographic memory. So when I was prepping for my test, I read that book, and I remember how the page looks. I remember the diagrams, and so all of the guidelines and stuff. And so when I'm driving, I'm looking at that book in my mind to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And so just imagine driving and kind of like you're doing like an open book test and you're looking off. But you can't look off because you're driving. And so that's an issue. My husband would drive me everywhere, which was such a blessing. And I miss having that. But I still don't drive often, but when I have to, I do. If I need to take my kids to a doctor's appointment, or if I need to go pick up something that I can't order online. But what's interesting is that I was asked a question recently, how often do I go outside? And when I really thought about it, it was like only 4 times a month. And that's like basically on Saturdays. Me and the girls will go out and do a little shopping, like for the household or something, or maybe thrift, or maybe go thrifting. But other than that, I don't go outside unless I have a doctor's appointment or they have a doctor's appointment. And it really it was really eye-opening to answer that question, because I'm still accepting that I do have a disability, and not venturing outside is definitely a way that my autism presents in my life, because I don't like to go to places that I have never been, unfamiliar places. It gives me a lot of anxiety. Driving roads that I've never driven on before, loads of anxiety. I pretty much take the same routes whenever I drive. I have been Googling addresses, and I'll do the Google view so I can see the streets and the nearby markers. So that's kind of been helpful for driving, so that way something of it looks familiar to me. What else? Also, I can't remember what you call it, but there's this thing where like you can't really figure out um, what you need to do. Like in normal or typical humans, you know, they know when they're hungry. You know, they know when they need to go pee. But I struggle with that. So like, I may not eat all day. I might not even think to eat, or sometimes I forget if I've even had something to eat. And I forget what it's called, guys. But somebody comment and tell me what I'm talking about. Go Google it right quick, because I know if you're autistic, you like to collect facts too. But yeah, what else is there? Let's see. Oh yeah, also how my autism presents in my life is like I'll get really burnt out. It's hard for me to maintain employment. Usually by the year mark, I am pretty burnt out. And even when I try to push myself past that, it's like my body will immediately shut down. Like I can no longer mask at all. I pretty much go completely nonverbal. And when I say that, it's not that I'm choosing not to talk. It's like I literally cannot talk. Like I'm trying to talk. I'm verbalizing that in my mind, but nothing is coming out of my mouth. It's almost like a feeling of being paralyzed. Um, so yeah, there's that. And then it's just a loads of a bunch of different things, and I wish this video was better, and maybe I'll do a redo of this video, but this is the video that you guys are gonna get. I'm gonna edit it to the best of my ability. If you watched this far, then thank you for watching. I'm gonna end it right here, and until the next video.